All right. We are fucking ready to go.
Let's do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strength Students Podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve Carty.
I'm your other co-host, Nick Scovoletti.
We are here with Drew Accomando, former CrossFit Regionals athlete.
That's it.
Did you ever go to the games?
No, I was on the games roster.
Oh, okay.
With CrossFit
okay.
Milford, yeah.
Oh, so you went
2
to the
years
fucking
ago.
games then?
It was fun. It's good. Time.
You were physically
But no,
there.
I trained for it with them side by side. But
Okay.
I was the alternate on that roster.
Okay.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we're here today talking to Drew about his high-level CrossFit experience. He was an athlete under Jay Layden at CrossFit Milford.
Yep.
And competed at regionals, all that, and now he's kind of put that to the side and doing a little bit of different training now. So we're going to kind of go into your history. So just give like a background, man. Like sports, like when you were a kid, like did you start lifting early? Like give us the whole spiel there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, definitely played sports all my life, right? Grew up with 2 brothers, neighborhood in Monroe with tons of kids that just love to, basketball, football, baseball. From there, followed my brother's footsteps playing baseball, high school, high level, and then won a state championship in football in high school. So was getting pretty confident with both football and baseball. Took the route of playing baseball in college. Played 4 years at Eastern. That was awesome. Learned a lot about myself. Learned a lot about training, right? Like training for a specific sport and how I just enjoyed that process. But I guess I started in high school, lifting weights, right, for Massic football and growing into like a solid program and being consistent.
Pretty dope program.
I took an independent study with Mr. Bodner senior year, dude.
Oh, damn.
Oh, the bod.
Yeah, the bod. And it was strength and conditioning with like diet and nutrition. And he just like let us be us.
Dude, that missed our grade.
Dude, it was crazy.
That missed us.
From there, the sole reason I went to Eastern was because they had like the best health and phys ed program and I could study exercise science and play baseball.
Fuck yeah.
So I was like, wait, like I want to learn something like that I can apply to my life because I wasn't the best in school, right? I didn't want to be there. But once I found that, I was like, this is stimulating.
Right.
Like I can apply this to my friends, myself, my family, and I'm like seeing it happen and evolve right in front of me. This is excellent. So then I trained hard in baseball. I wasn't the best baseball player, but I definitely had the most, the grit to just grind and get out there and play. That was a tremendous experience. Was captain 2 times at Eastern Connecticut's team, and I played under Bill Holloway. He's the most winningest coach of NCAA 1, 2, and 3 all sports history.
What?
Yeah.
At Eastern.
He was at Eastern, dude. He won 30 wins a year, ranked 3rd in the nation my sophomore year.
What?
13th or 15th junior year.
All sports or just baseball?
No, dude, he was ranked in NCAA Division 1, 2, and 3. Any sport, the winningest
What
coach
the fuck?
in the history
How
of all
old
sports.
is this dude?
He was like 68,
400.
70. No, but
Started coaching when he was 8.
coached there for 40 years, dude. He
Oh
played
my
basketball and
God.
baseball at UConn.
Shit.
So I learned how to not only like train and whatnot, but win. And then I just established like that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So from there, it was just, what do I do after that, right? Like I got my degree in health and phys ed, which is obviously in the exercise science field. But one of my good buddies, Jeff Finaro, who's one of the excellent coaches at CrossFit Milford, was the catcher for the 2002 World Series baseball team at Eastern.
Oh, shit.
So when I was like senior year, just student teaching for health and phys ed, I was like, I'm going to need something to do after this, right? Because I didn't really want to play baseball after that. I was kind of done with it.
Right.
But I loved training, and I loved how I was developing as body composition-wise, strength, size, power.
Yeah.
And from there, I hit him up. I'm like, dude, you're a CrossFit coach. Like, how is that? He's like, it's great, man, but I can't bring you to Milford because Milford's like the show. He's like, but I'll bring you to this gym, who's Tonic Valley CrossFit. And I was like, okay. And it was right down the street from my parents' house. I was like, this is great. And the first day I went in there, he had me snatched, which is the hardest fucking movement you can ever. And I was
a former baseball player.
who I had never strict pressed in my life once. I had never done any any overhead work. Right?
Damn.
I've done a ton of scapular work, so it's pretty stable just from
Right.
throwing, right? Like Eric Cressy's programs and all
Right,
that
right.
throughout college. And I would squat and clean because that was powerful and I was strong. I would deadlift a little bit and I do a ton of back. So Fennar has me snatch, but I hit 205. First time ever.
First time you ever snatched?
First time I ever
No
snatched
shit.
Fuck this guy.
with Jeff Finaro.
Damn.
So from there, 2 days later, I go into CrossFit Milford, right? And come on, you go into CrossFit Milford's environment. At that time, we had what's called the Annex. It was literally a gym off of the gym just for competitive athletes.
Right.
So I didn't skip a beat.
Just a fucking
I went from
meat lodge.
I went from yeah, exactly, but a lot sweatier than the lodge. The stenches in there were ridiculous. Mix it with some women too. It's just wild.
Just all sorts of pheromones and hormones and testosterone just mixed up in one nice bucket.
Nasty. But yeah, so like I said, I was really searching for something to just compete, right? Because I was just competing at a high level of baseball. Like I loved instilling that. It was great something to look forward to. I didn't have a job yet, so I just started doing CrossFit at CrossFit Milford.
He's basically like, dude, I can't take you to Milford. Like that's big time. Then you snatch 205. He's like, yo, you want to go to Milford?
I swear to God, ask him about it. And then the second day I was ever there, he goes, I'm going to get 5% of everything you ever make in CrossFit. But
it's like Don King and you.
It was just a gritty sport, right? And I played for a gritty coach who taught grit in college. And like, dude, it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. Plain and simple. And what is CrossFit?
Yeah.
They're 3, 2, 1, go. If you're not foaming from the mouth at the end of a workout, you didn't do hard enough.
Yeah,
right.
word.
Not many people can foam from their mouth in a workout, so you're already winning if you can do that.
Word.
That
Dude,
plain and simple.
This is a story that comes to mind. Your wall sit story when you were a kid.
Oh God.
Tell that.
I went to Massick.
Like this, when he told me that story, I go, "You were fucking made to do CrossFit."
I went to the Massick baseball camp and it was raining out.
How old are you?
11 maybe. Jeff Horgan, stud, right? UConn baseball player, excellent athlete. Massick was like an All-American. He brought us inside because it was raining out. And he's like, we're gonna have a wall sit competition, and he's like, don't stop. Like, just keep going, right? Like, let's see how long you do. I did a wall sit for like 11 minutes and 50 seconds because my legs were numb, and I was just like, but I'm not tired. Like, I can just keep going, right?
My legs are numb, but I'm not tired.
But it was just having some of that motivation from him, and he was like kind of screaming at you, and I was just in the moment, like, oh, this is awesome. I'll just stay here, I guess, for another couple minutes. But anyways, to get back to where we were, you walk into CrossFit Milford, and you're in the competitor's zone. You don't want to leave because you don't want to leave until you're as good as somebody like Ryan Kononchik, who I just latched onto, who is probably the best all-around CrossFitter I've ever worked out with.
Future guest.
Yeah, excellent guy.
Word.
I learned a lot about myself just from Ryan. So like I said, being immersed in that, and then there you go. I was all about it. Like, how good can I get at this?
Word. So from there, like, what was your CrossFit experience like?
Oh man. I think the next day we were there for like 3 hours, right? And I just jumped right into the competitors programming.
You just hopped right in?
Well, because
here's
why. In 30 days was the opens. Because I graduated in December from college. So when I got home and I snatched it at Housatonic Valley, it was like January. So Jeff's like, we have the opens soon. And like I was like, okay, what's that? Right? Well, all right, like
dope. I don't know.
And he was like, basically, he explained it out to me, and I was like, okay, so how do we train for that? So we went to Milford a few times, and right from there it was more technique work, right? Because like muscle ups, you can't just be strong. You're gonna fatigue out super quick, so you have to be efficient.
Yeah.
How much of that could I do in 30 days? Not too much, but I said let's try it. And then first open workout came out, like I was talking to you guys about before, and I did pretty well. Yeah.
How'd you do, Drew?
I finished 36th in the workout in the region. First workout I ever done.
In the Northeast region.
In the Northeast region, finished 36th for the first workout. It was double unders and snatches.
That's crazy, dude.
Double unders and snatches. 30 dubs, 15 snatches, I believe.
Damn.
10-minute AMRAP, 75. So it's like just grip and rip, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to have technique and form for that. You just have to have some balls.
Right.
But, that was fun. I mean, from there, how do you not continue a sport like that? And then talked to you guys a little bit about before, you have a coach like Jason Leiden who is just a competitor himself. So I really looked up to him, looked up to Ryan and Colin Garrity, all those coaches at CrossFit Milford. I wanted to be the best athlete I could. So I bought in, right? You just buy in. And from there, developed. I finished like 100th that year. Next year, finished maybe 50-something. The next year, 30-something in the region. And that's when I was on the team, CrossFit Milford's team, like you guys talked about before.
Word.
So...
When did you first meet Jay? Like when you first got there or not till later?
When I first got to go into CrossFit's competitors section, so maybe like the second or third time I went to CrossFit Milford, I went into the annex and he had me do ring muscle ups. And I just like did a strict one, like just like pulled myself up on the rings because I didn't know how to kip or anything. And he just looked at me, he's like, dude, you're really strong. It's like almost like naturally because I had told you tons of pulling, right? So that pulling strength was there, which is very important for CrossFit.
Right.
And no, he's like, hey, anytime Ryan comes in or Jeff comes in, come with him. So Jeff was going every day. So I was like, hey, can I come with you? So then I was going every day. And dude, Jay treated me like one of his sons. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
Really took me under his wing. Spent a lot of time with technique, with form, efficiency, talking about how to map out a workout, right? Because I was pretty like 3, 2, 1, go, 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 like berserk crazy. And one big thing that I learned from that process that was excellent from Dan Lowenberg, former Games Masters athlete.
Shit.
Drew, 3, 2, 1, slow the fuck down. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, man. Because I would just bash my head against the brick wall right from the start. And I would die out, and I'd hang on a little bit. But once you learn that pacing strategy in CrossFit, and then you have some output and the ability to sustain that fatigue.
Yeah, like we've talked about this before. Like, we've talked about CrossFit. We've had Siobhan on, who is now going to the games with CrossFit Milford, right? Yeah. We've had Chris Kling on, and all like these great people. Dude. And all they do is talk about how, first of all, how great Jay is and what a great coach he is. But
phenomenal.
We talk about the pace, and yes, CrossFit is a fast pace. Like people see it in the games, they go, "Holy shit, look at that!" But it's like you look at a dude like Froning, like
comfortable.
Dude, do you ever see him come out the gate? You ever see him flailing or like looking like
chilling.
he's struggling?
Dude, I'll
like
tell you a funny story. In Miami, when I competed at Wadapalooza, it was on the same floor as him. He's right next to me. It's I think it was 12 or it was 15 power snatches at 95 pounds.
This is you competing against Froning.
Me competing. Well, it's the heat.
Everyone,
I was in the heat. Yeah. But I was going second.
You and him.
Froning was
at
going
his house,
mano a mano.
shirtless.
Yeah. But it was like 15 ground over snatches, 15 thrusters, or 12 thrusters. Sorry, 9 burpees over the bar, then maybe 20 calories on the assault bike. And I remember just like being like, oh my God, I'm ahead of this guy. Oh my God, I'm ahead of this guy. Oh my God, I'm ahead of this guy. And then how the fuck did he beat me? like what happened? And it was just a learning moment, because on the bike I kind of died out. I was just a little burnt, and he was just chilling, man. They didn't even break a sweat. I'm hobbling back to the finish, like crawling on all fours. And just I think he was just chilling after. So.
That's amazing.
But that was a nice piece of learning. And then from there, just keep developing. And I loved it, man. I just love the competitive atmosphere there. And it couldn't have been in a better place, CrossFit Milford.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's one of the best in the country.
Oh, no. What are they featured in Box Magazine for having like over 500 members? So that's just a testament to Jay himself and his client retention, his athletes.
I'm not sure how many other boxes and gyms in the country put 2 teams in regionals. Like, I don't think.
Or have that many members. I've heard of like CrossFit in Boston. Now, Boston's a major city that has 500. Milford's not a major city.
Right. It's Milford, man.
It's Milford, Connecticut. Like, it is a city, technically, but it's not
so random.
Boston.
Right.
It's like, where did your grandmother retire to? Oh, Milford, Connecticut. Oh, okay.
So they have a gym there that's 500 members.
Yeah.
But
second in the nation, like crazy.
Going back to what you said, CrossFit New England, I think, had 2 teams. But, I mean, we finished 6th, dude. And they finished 3rd. So, like, to have 2 teams almost podium was just ridiculous. But that's just a testament to the coaches.
Man.
Not only Jay, dude, Colin Garrity, the gymnastics coach over there. I mean,
I heard the gymnastics coach there was really good. I don't know.
He's a Power Monkey fitness guy.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, works hand in hand with Dave Durante, which is growing rapidly. He's one of the big movers for them.
Nice.
Not only does Colin help with the coaching, but with the mobility and whatnot, which is so evident and huge with CrossFit athletes, right? For gymnastics, because the number one restriction is probably mobility, not enabling you to access that range appropriately to be able to stabilize.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
to provide like some functional output.
Right.
So
dope. And so, what was your first regionals experience like?
Yeah, I mean, we're so prepared. So, like, the feeling, what it's going to feel like. But the best thing that I could describe is like, on a team, it's a lot different. So, like, that's what people have to understand. I compete on a team. Yeah. So, like, you just do your part. And I was really good at that. Just, like, here's what I have to do, and I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. I'm going to pass the baton on.
Word.
So, but it was humbling because everybody out there is just as good, if not better than you, right?
Yeah, what a stage to be on, dude.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's difference being like, top dog at your gym to now all the top dogs at their gyms are now competing against each other. Like, that's a fucking different story.
Yeah, but you can't look left and right. You really can't because guess what? Your pacing's always off in the regional floor because you're looking left. That guy's going faster. Now you're going faster than you had planned for. Therefore, you're burning out a lot sooner. It happened to me on the true form. I was rocked when I got to those overhead squats at 165. I was supposed to do 20 of them. I did like 17, right? Because I was just smoked. But it's a learning experience. That's why the best CrossFit competitors are the guys that have done it for like 5 to 8 years. So they said 3 to 5 year window, right?
Yeah, so, for real.
No doubt.
Not a very large window.
Yeah, right? That's what we'll get to.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we'll go a little more in depth into like how your training has changed and comparatively to what you were doing before.
Of course.
So take a break. We'll be right back.
Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her.
All right, we're back. Second half here with Drew Accomando, former CrossFit Milford Regionals competitor.
Yeah.
So now, we kind of talked about your CrossFit career. What we want to talk about now is like, all right, now what is life like after that? After that show, after the big stage, CrossFit Milford, regionals, Northeast region, all that. Like, what is life like now? And what is your training looking like?
All right, yeah. So, I mean, throughout that process, right, I was definitely developing myself for my career, like what I wanted to do that entire time. I knew I didn't want to do CrossFit for forever. I knew I didn't want to just make money from doing CrossFit, although it's fun right on the weekend to make a couple bucks winning a CrossFit competition, say. But I knew I wanted to do something different. I sort of joined CrossFit because it was fun and it was competitive, but I wanted to take what I had learned and apply it every day. So I was lucky enough to be personal training throughout that entire process at the Darien Y. Some stuff on the side. But where I'm at now is I sort of took like a healthy break from CrossFit because I felt like since I had jumped into it, 3, 2, 1, go, berserk crazy, 3 hours a day for 3 years, my body needed a break. And I'm pretty in tune with that. I mean, there was days I couldn't even talk on the phone, man. I couldn't even lift my hand to my ear. My shoulders were that shot.
Damn.
Yeah, for days. So, and that wasn't the programming at CrossFit Milford. That was that I was staying after and doing extra handstand push-ups because that was my weakness and all those things. So once I had learned the gymnastics, the Olympic weightlifting, how to train to develop an engine, right? 10 500-meter row repeats. Once I had bought into the system, I wanted to take away everything I could and apply it to what I was doing at that time, and that was being a personal trainer. So I guess I started buying into what I was doing with my clients.
Okay.
And it was like more of the less is more approach. Like, dude, how about those studies that like 5 times 10 is just as effective as 10 times 10?
Right.
So I was learning, or 5 by 5 with adequate rest. I was learning what stressor was positive for Drew and where did I want to go. I no longer really cared how fit I was. I just cared how I felt. And I knew I'd feel better by doing less. So my goals had changed. When I competed in CrossFit Milford and I finished 6th in the regional with my team, I was like, wow, that was amazing. I want to go to the games, but I learned as much as I could.
Right.
And I feel good right now. Like I want to take a little step back. So my training had changed drastically. Now I'll come in, I'll do some, I'll do dynamic warm-up, right? I'll get some heat going, there's some active mobility. I'll choose an Olympic weightlift. I'll snatch that day.
Right.
And then I'm really just doing splits, upper body push, lower body pull one day, lower body push, upper body pull, and flip-flopping that. And that's what I was doing with my clients. And I just saw some great success. And then they're only training for an hour a day. So I'm like, how are these people?
You're like, what the fuck? Fuck you.
Yeah, you're training an hour a day.
3 hours.
So, but honestly, I came back to one word. It was specificity. So my goal had changed, my why had changed, and now I was specific to attacking the goals that I wanted to attack.
Okay.
So I had flirted around with some different modalities, some different training styles, and it was working for me, right? My body composition was decreasing or changing. I was dropping body fat. I was losing weight, but I was getting stronger.
Word.
And so it sort of light bulb went off. And from there, I had looked at my past experiences with my clients after 3 years. Like none of them were getting injured. They were holding high muscle tone. They were getting stronger. They're getting fitter. They're only working out for this hour. And really, we're doing 10 to 15 minutes of mobility in that session. So they're really only working out for 45 minutes of, aggressive, intense exercise. And some days even less.
Yeah.
Add up all that rest in between their sets. So I guess just started applying what I had learned from college and from CrossFit and those experiences. And it was working for me.
Word. So what do you think it had a lot to do with just, you mentioned like strength gains and things like that. I mean, do you think that had a lot to do with like resting?
Just not hammering Metcons
the other
left
day,
and right.
so I was never able to walk on my hands, right? Like, I got to be able to do 250 foot unbroken. I went for 50 yards the other day. I haven't handstand walked in 3 months.
Oh, shit.
Right.
I went for 50 yards, it's 150 feet.
Right.
Okay, because I built the skills to be able to do that.
Sure.
So it wasn't just a time off, right? Because I worked with the gymnastics coaches all the time. It's that my nervous system is just not as beaten up. You know, like,
word.
My cleans, my snatches are the same, if not greater. My squats are greater. I can pull more. I'm pressing more. I have more rest. That's working for me.
Dude, it's crazy, man. I tell people all the time, like, you're not getting stronger while you're in here, like, lifting weights.
No.
You're getting weaker in here. But when you're getting stronger is when you let that body rest.
No question about it, man. No question about it. So a lot of it's consumption of food. So I learned a lot about not how much to eat, but when to eat. Nutritional timing. So, like, when I really want to decrease my body fat, because I kind of cared about that after CrossFit. I was 210 when I was competing in CrossFit. I'm like 198 to 202 now.
Damn.
I was 15% body fat then. I'm just about 10 to 11.
Shit.
And I'm stronger. And I'm just as fit. And I'm just as powerful, if not more.
So your numbers are better.
My numbers are better. If I went into that CrossFit gym today, Jay would be like, dude, what the fuck have you been doing? I just did touch and go snatch for 225 for 4. I've never done that before. Ever.
That's fucked up.
So little things like that. But to be honest, my eating is different. My training is different. So I'm just applying it differently, right? Like, I'm only eating carbs post-workout. I'm eating high-fat, high-protein outside of that workout window. I don't sleep as much. I was sleeping 8 to 10 hours a day when I was doing CrossFit. I sleep 7 to 8 hours now. So I know that that's not like the driven factor. I'm not like sleeping more. That's why I'm stronger.
Right.
It's that I'm doing less, man. I'm doing less. I work out for 30 to 60 minutes, maybe. So like yesterday's workout was 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 5 RDLs, 5 burpees, 5 push press. And then I did like 3 sets of 15 tricep extensions after.
Word.
With 2 minutes of rest in between each. I was done in
Perfect.
25 minutes.
So I don't think anyone would argue that, like, not doing competitive CrossFit training is going to equate to your body feeling better. Like,
True.
I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
Right.
But
how do you get stronger then, right? Like, if I'm doing that much less, like, why am I getting stronger?
yeah, right. And that's like, to me, it's like, it's got to just be the amount you're recovering. But I guess my question would be, like,
right?
do you think if you, like, so you're stronger now, you're leaner, it sounds like you have more ability. Do you think you'd be able to go into competitive, like, CrossFit training again, like, tomorrow, like, next week?
Yeah, I'd be better than when I left, yeah.
Word.
Not only that, because I had done it before, like, that's why. Like, I have, like, that whole base, that whole background. Just fresher, man. I didn't back squat for a year. I just did to a box.
Oh, damn.
And it was an 18-inch box.
So not even breaking parallel.
Not even
really.
breaking parallel. And then
Sat on that 18-incher. And
yeah. And I
toes started tingling.
I don't know. I changed up the stressors. I guess I'm just obviously know that I'm recovering more, progressive adaptation. I'm adapting more rapidly because of that rest.
Yeah, word.
I'm not doing multiple muscle groups in consecutive days. I have at least a day in between my lower body pushes, at least a day of rest in between upper body pulls, and vice versa.
You could even bring that to, like, conjugate, like West Side Barbell. Like, you're changing a lift. It's not always.
One day when I'm doing upper body pull, it's vertical pulling. Then the next time it's horizontal pulling. Mm-hmm. Right? Or I'm pressing horizontally. Then the next time I work out, I'm pressing vertically. Therefore, I'm giving that adequate amount of rest. But I'm still getting some stimulation to those particular muscle groups.
True.
I'm still gaining that size. I'm still keeping that strength because I warm up with yoga push-ups on the vertical pushing days, and other exercises as well. And it's that recovery, man. It's the consumption, adequate nutritional timing, and the mobility, just maintaining that mobility and adapting well, like understanding my body. When my knees are buckling from standing up on my legs for 8 hours, I'm not working out that day. Yeah. I just understand, and I'm very in tune with that.
Dude, knowing when to, like, get into the gym and be like, all right, how do I feel today? How's my body doing? Like,
right.
And letting that dictate what you're going to do and how intense you're going to go that day is super fucking valuable.
That's the largest misconception with CrossFit. You have a program. People think they have to do their day 5 on day 5.
Damn.
Dude, skip that day 5. Ryan Kanonchik.
Yeah.
Go off feel. Go off
and,
feel.
Oh, definitely.
And we've had Siobhan and Chris said the same thing. Like
Chris
Jay,
Kling,
Jay will go, you look like shit today, man. Time to call it.
Yeah.
And
But I bet you Jay 2 years ago would have said that, dude, suck it up. And because we're changing, we're evolving, time is taking, and we're experiencing athletes. Jay has probably seen myself and be like, whoa, wait a second. This guy's working out for 30 minutes a day and he's just as fit. What's going on with that? Maybe Drew's just different. Maybe Drew's different. He did come from a baseball background. Why were we training 100 handstand push-ups a day when he had never, ever pressed in his life?
Right.
How about who was it, Pavlov?
Pavel,
right. The
Greasing the Groove, the 40-day.
Right, and it's like having people just do one pull-up frequently throughout their day.
Oh, his fighter pull-up program.
And the progressive adaptation, like letting your body just absorb that stimulus.
But what a unique concept though. Like who would ever suggest that? Like, yeah, just do one pull-up, like, you know, every once in a while. And you're like, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You need to do like sets and reps.
Right, but that's where training time. So like I would have been like that 3 years ago, but now I understand.
Like so every time if you only do one pull-up, every time you pass a pull-up rack, do one.
Right. I guarantee you in 30 days your max pulse will go up because it's just less stress.
Right.
Okay, there's a positive stressor still, but it's not too much neural stress where you're decreasing performance.
Right.
Which we see often. People are just overtraining. So
right.
Yeah,
overtraining. You can talk around the bush with that. Like it's so hard to pinpoint and judge that. But
right, there's
one thing that people I think need to do more is track their heart rate. So like there were days that I'd go into the gym now where dude, I'm just doing maybe like a 5-rep deadlift, like right into ring push-ups, right? Like 5 deads, 10 ring push-ups, doing 5 sets a minute of rest. My heart rate's at like 140, which it should never be that high, right? Like I'll do rowing intervals, 500
especially for the shape intervals, you're in and what you're doing.
And that day I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm done at 3 sets today. And then the next day I wake up and I'll do the same thing. I'm like under 100. But like how often do you think people are like, fuck it, I'm just doing it. Like I got to get this work done.
Yeah, right.
And they didn't understand how that could negatively benefit them.
But that's the idea that's thrown out there, man.
And back to Pavel talking about heart rate stuff, right? Another simple thing, like, you know, there's heart rate monitors and zones and people are like, oh, that's so much, I can't absorb that information. He basically broke it down like this, and him and Dan John do an amazing job of breaking shit down so simply. He was like, all right, take your normal, like, relax couple days, and then take your normal resting heart rate. Find out what that is. And then during a training cycle, every morning you wake up and test it.
Yep.
And if it's 10 beats higher,
see ya.
Guess what you're doing today?
Right. You're eating and you're going to rest, and you're just going to go about your
Chill
work day.
mode.
Do some breathing exercises, maybe some light mobility, and then you don't feel bad about it. So it's being more educated to yourself, paying attention to yourself, understanding yourself. I now know I am a less is more guy. I am fitter. I'm bigger. I'm more dense. I'm more cut. I'm more vascular.
Right.
My VO2 max is up. I'm stronger, right? So that's working for me. And oftentimes it's cookie cutter programming. So that's enabled me. It started from watching my clients and being attentive towards my clients because they're all so different. I said, wait, maybe I'm different too. So just taking a step back and understanding that everybody has a different background. Everybody has a different job. Everybody has a different system. Everybody just has a different lifestyle.
Right.
So what works for me doesn't work for you, but understand yourself and be thorough to yourself, tracking and whatnot. So
you're going to start modeling underwear.
Yeah.
I think you got that fucking lady pregnant by looking at her, dude. Before we break it down here, anything else you wanted to ask him?
Just
anything you want to ask us?
If you want to have a beer with me tonight, or like just us two.
What's where can people find you? Where are you at?
Yeah,
where are you located in real life and on internet life?
We just opened up 18 Performance Chiropractic here in South Norwalk, 1 North Water Street, right across the Maritime Aquarium. Nice neutral location in South Norwalk.
Dope location.
You and Brandon Buchla.
Yep, myself and Dr. Brandon Buchla.
Nice.
I guess Instagram Drew_AccoFit ACCO Fit. And then we are at atp.chiro. That's how you can find us. Yeah, and I would say that just track the progress because we're going to be hand in hand with you to show you our progressions. Like we don't know it all. We don't know it all right now. We've been through some things together. We'll show you that progression. We'll be back on here to explain in 30 days that progression.
Word.
So it's time. Give yourself that time. Have that strong why, that strong reason. Stick to it. Number one thing ever in my life has been consistency. If you look back to my freshman year in college, I've gained 2 pounds of muscle every single year.
Since college.
Since my freshman year in college.
Damn.
It was like 186. Okay? Or no, it was like 182 or 181. And every year, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. Granted, I didn't eat a slice of pizza in 4 years in college, but still, it was being consistent. I had never skipped more than 3 days in the gym, say, because I would say, well, I'm just going to do some push-ups. I'm going to move around a little bit.
And I think that's something, and we could touch on that another time, is, and I get stuck in this. This is, I know in my brain, I get stuck with every workout has to be like the Super Bowl.
No way.
It's like, why can't I just go, like, I'm so unsatisfied with, like, I did push-ups and ring rows today. Like, why can't I be cool with that?
Dude,
but, like, there's times like, I need to fucking burn it down.
Right, because it's not what you do, it's how you do it, man. And just instilling that and understanding that. But give it a try. You can't knock it till you try it, right? Like, dude, if I was still that adamant about working out hard, I would never be where I am right now. It was getting uncomfortable, understanding, well, I'm going to put myself in this uncomfortable atmosphere. I'm not going to lift as much. I'm going to do way less. I'm going to see how I adapt.
Right.
And it was positive for me.
Right.
Word.
So open your eyes towards something new. So track what we have now. I'll show you some progressions of how I've trained, how some of my clients are training, how Brandon has gained weight. And we'll talk about that hopefully when him and I are on here.
Yeah, word.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it, man. Make sure you guys leave us a review. Go subscribe to all of our social media shit. See us on YouTube. Yeah, 5 stars, yo, for sure.
And go follow atp.chiro.
Yeah, go follow them up.
Please do.
All right, thank you, Drew.
Yeah, of course.
Peace, brother. Peace, everybody.